Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for July 25th, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com. To access the Zoom call, we'll scroll down and look for this Zoom banner and click where it says click here. If you'd like to be part of the SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, the information's here. And how that pertains to the demonstration of the SRC4u software is you are part of the demonstration, so you get to see what she's doing and how she's doing it. So you, when you're using your software, can duplicate it right over. Now, if you're not ready to participate, to purchase the software, again, the Daily Energy Clearing Group. If you'd like to see Cathy's latest posts on Twitter, they're all right here. You can click right through. We're going to click on over to the SRC4u software demonstration call.
We had a lot of interesting work over the weekend that you can see we're still going as well. But what a weekend it was for the group.
We got a new moon coming up this week. Supposed to heighten everything that you desire if you work on it.
Yeah, a new what coming up?
New moon.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's exactly right. And today, according to those friends of mine who keep up with all this, today, energetically, is a day that this is where you set your intention. You can create what it is you desire.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah.
I know it. I'll mention it again when we're on, on the calls at 10:30. But I like it when people keep up with that. It's inspiring. I don't always keep up with it, but I have a couple that will call and say something. Here we are at 10:30. I'm glad to see y'all. Hope you had a good weekend. We had a wild weekend energetically for the group. I want to share a few things. First of all, I've been, okay, one thing at a time. Let me see where I want to start with this. All right, there's another post up on the Art of Spiritual Hygiene. This one probably is a little crazy. What I'm seeing when I do the scans is tremendous energetic attack.
Could you increase the size, please?
Oh, sure, yeah. How's that?
Thank you.
All right, thanks for reminding me. So what is happening is, we have scans that show demonic and luciferic and all these black magic, etc. We know we have unseen energy around us, but I've had a couple of synchronicities to where it seems that some of this energy is coming from the internet. And I did check with knowledgeable people, one of whom's on this call, and realized the technology is there to overlay codes over, and remember, everything's a code, everything's a number, and we're programmable. And that's actually not a negative, it's a positive, because that means we can program our own energy. But when we're unaware, so I did a post, it gets a little heavy right here on the Art of Spiritual Hygiene, not to focus on it, but just to have an awareness. And also I pulled out an old book. Are any of you familiar with this book? Proclamations of the Soul by Rich Work. I don't know if it's inscribed or not, but I have it. And I pulled it out because our focus this month has been, and now I'm wondering if we need to extend it, has been this very thing, this control of the mind by anything other than one's own self. And so we're going to look at, and some of this, it was funny, along with that control of the mind was a real stress related to heavy metal. So let me show you a couple of things so it makes some sense here. So I pulled out some of these old proclamations, and I tested right here last night. I didn't want to erase it. This, if you can read it, it's the metals and residues cocktail via acupuncture. 100% benefit, and I ran that and we went 12 hours. So just to give you an idea, it looks like some of these proclamations, I've got 3 of them in our notes today, might be appropriate, just like Joanna was saying at the beginning of the call, how powerful our words are. And so I have 3 right here. transmuting environmental energies, interfering energies, and then here's the one that we had such a high resonance with last night, and we did go 12 hours. We're done now. But this, being that this is our focus this month, and next month, I want to go into abundance and prosperity. Let's just see if we need as a group to have one more month as with a focus on clearing the mind and clearing the environmental toxicity. Nope, we're good. Okay, so I don't know, I guess let's just see if we still resonate with August for abundance and prosperity. No, I'll have to play around with this then. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. Anyway, here are these codes for anyone who wants to work with them. Some interesting things we are seeing. This something called frontal temporal dementia, and some other things that some are relating to the vaccination. I don't know. That's all I do know is I don't know, but we can do our charges. And this is kind of the new things that we've been seeing, is there's a great deal of power to picking one focus for charger and doing it throughout the day and into the evening when you're drawn to do it. These seems to be some of the top priorities, and this shedding stuff, for example, does appear to be a legitimate stress, because what they're seeing is especially the smaller animals, when their owners get vaccinated, the smaller animals have some symptoms. So again, I don't know. Some say yes, some say no. We don't know about any of the information we get, but what I've been doing, checking these things first. Days, charge, focus. And let's just see for the group. Don't need it. See, one of the good things is that as we continue to do this, it's not the device doing the healing, it's your own inner technology, which sometimes just needs a little reboot. That would be a shield from 5G. And you will see it if you do this, you know, for yourself. Okay, that's close, but let's say like an over 70. This one's a little neutralize all negative brain. Okay, so we'll take that one. So let's just go ahead. And typically what you can do, I go through the day doing this repeatedly, and at some point I'll test and see if it needs to be continued, and if it doesn't, then I'll move on to something else. But I'm seeing some remarkable shifts with people when this approach is taken. That's going to have to scoop up a little bit there. This is me, for example, today. What I want is to remove all non-beneficial overlays on internet broadcasts and transmute to 528 hertz. And boy, I've been watching a lot of internet, so that's what I'm asking for. Here's someone, I'm trying to put initials, heavy metal brain, heavy metal detox. This is someone asking for that. This is, are y'all familiar with the term ionosphere? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
My best explanation is that's a channel. I think they say it's about 25 miles up, but I'm no expert. And it is a channel of highly charged electrical particles, and they do feel that there is the potential for charging the ionosphere for a negative or a positive. So I thought, well, What can it hurt? Let's just see at this moment in time. I just put this in for now, but I can't see what it would hurt to go in. Let's just see. Well, it's close. It's close, but you can play around with that. And then just a few other examples. Here's someone with some very low back pain. This turned out to be a highly beneficial charge. And this is what we did the last update for the group Healthy. And then, interestingly enough, the ileocecal valve, which is a core cause of many illnesses. So after we finish with this neutral stuff, neutralize up here, we'll go down here and check and see if we're ready to go forward. Here's another one. And this is an interesting one right here. This is a person with a diagnosis, but they don't want the direct charge for that diagnosis. They went much deeper. And so they started with inflammation and went on up, and now they're at blood stagnation, and they are much better. So that reminds you, if you're in the group and you want any extra work, you may or may not show up on my scan at the end of the day. Don't ever hesitate to let me know if you're battling something, and we can all chip in to work on it. But anyway, so that is something that we're focused on. This is another term that came by. They're discovering that this is a form of radiation that actually does not harm the cells like other forms. And I had a code for that. I don't know where it went, but I'll include it when we do this email again. But you will find some want this charge. Just again, so if you've got someone, I'll just use me here. Okay. So just the focus. Now, so I don't need it, but I have one lady battling cancer of the cervix, and she has resonated very highly with this one. And it doesn't hurt the cells. Now, so finally then, with our work on heavy metal, and we still haven't talked much about oil pulling, but this is a phenomenal site. I don't know if I can pull it up and show you, but it has some of the best education that I've ever seen on the mouth, including a breakdown of the teeth. Now, I haven't finished this tooth 30, but as over the weekend, when you do the various scans, especially the meridian scans, a tooth will come up because I put whatever teeth are affected by those meridians. So over the weekend, we wanted tooth 18. Look at all the things tied into tooth 18. And there's tooth 26 and tooth 3. So I'll send you that information. You can use it. Oh, one more. I forgot that one. I'll finish tooth 30 before we get to that. But looking in here again, we probably are going to want to focus on no, don't want to focus with it. It'd be fun to see what our next focus is going to be. But with your scans, oops. With your scans, as you go down through, for example, there's triple heater meridian. I've just been going through. And this gives you a chance to do some really deep work. Now we're going to take that, and I need to do, Mary sent me some really good information on the triple heater. I need to put that together. Just go up here, keeping in mind this is subtle. Give us just a little information. All right, what am I doing here? Okay, so we've got some information here. It goes down under 1,000. Okay, so feeling trapped. There's a little stress there, so we're getting some information. They say that the brain kicks in and corrects about 80% of that stress just from our seeing that. I know one of the books I'm reading now in Prosperity says, you know, make each day a celebration. Do something, and especially if this is a feeling. Now let's look and see. Oh, that's a chronic. Just see after what we do with otherwise. Well, we actually will take that one after we finish with the, you know, when this one no longer is a priority to neutralize brain signals. Let's just. So I don't forget. And that, you know, just think about these things. Depression related to low adrenal. I'm going to call it a negative, although it might be a real positive if it gives a person a message to make some changes. Now, if we want to do any more than this, or just if the software is going to be able to, maybe we don't need the cocktail. Whatever comes to mind. All right, so we'll go into the recharger. $11 on that one. Let me show you also, we finally, with the mediator, cleared. We got all the way down to 1, this code for removing hex. And I don't know what the hex, if there is one, might mean, other than perhaps us not realizing the power we have. And it's possible with some of these programs that part of the program could be we don't ever want to release it. Now, uncritically adopting the new as an end in itself, well, that kind of sounds like me. Let's just see what kind of stress. trying too many new things. Oh, that's not a positive. Wait a minute. Not too bad, but it's in there, so we'll just take it down. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, all tied to the triple heater meridian. Remember, the code is a good thing. That makes it a positive. And we're taking it up there to the 101. But that might be an example as well if you're working on someone and this type of thing is coming up. No. Here's another real good one if you ever have someone who just maybe that chronic discontent syndrome. We have a code for unbounded love. Joy, unbounded joy. And I have someone that this is really seeming to do a shift with. Again, we don't need it as a group. Just what will happen is you'll come into some resonance with some of these mood swings, all from this energy in the triple heater meridian either being overcharged or undercharged. And again, it's very subtle, coming from our field. Unconscious despair, and that's the last one that was under 1,000.
Do you feel that the Schumann resonance plays havoc on our emotions?
Oh my goodness, I think there's definitely, and it's really been out of control. Let's just test and ask. Let's see if we want, because that would be another, perhaps something to deal with energetically here, because it's been off the charts. Let's just go here. Press, rated, and then again, the steady energy we get in the group probably balances some of that. But yeah, it's definitely something to be aware of. Let's just check down here and see our polarity. This is all, again, triple heater. It would be to clear, would be a positive. No? Okay, we're good. And no tooth, oops. No tooth came up with this scan, but this is where you'll get your scans. Then a few new codes, and I think some of you probably have these, but I'll include them. Deborah Jones sent this list of some Hertz frequencies, and again, good information. This one is a brand new Grabavoy, and he says, with this number series, aging can be prevented. Sounds like a plan. Let's just look and see how we like that one.
So you're typing the first 4 digits and then a space?
Yes, he's got this one spaced, so I copied it that way. And we're taking it all the way up, but we probably have a little resistance because I certainly, don't think we're meant to go forever without aging. And this one, have y'all been reading about this product, this methylene blue?
I actually have been trying it.
Oh, what do you think?
Well, it definitely helps with focus.
Okay. Well, I had a lady come in Friday. I had not seen her in a long time, and it's been at least a year. And she came in. What's happened? She now has been diagnosed with cancer, Lyme disease, and they did a brain scan and said that the brain is shrinking. And what resonated very highly with her, which, you know, she alerted me to, she asked me to check it, was this product. And there is a code for it. You might want to do your own research.
There's a facility in Clearwater where they're having great success rates with individuals with Lyme disease. I don't know it. I had heard about it through a grapevine, but I was going to look into it and just...
Yeah, please let me know, because then I can let her know.
Okay.
And anyway, and then finally I spoke with someone, just really email speaking, that is also an SRC owner, and I'm going to share some of his information. He's got a nice website. He's got a podcast, and this is the name of his center. And let's share. I guess this was last week, our Charger Focus. Let's share when we know different people in the group that have things to offer. This looks very good to check out. So with that, we got 5 minutes. Anything new? Anything to share?
You were going to talk about the new moon?
Oh, duh, thank you. I guess I need some methylene blue. I have been playing around with lighting candles because, you know, the Christian mystics, they did work with candle. It was probably your original light and color therapy. And as I read just the very essence of it, when we have a new moon, and we do have a new moon coming the 28th, you then light a candle to bring in something you want. And you can light the candle. You can get a 7-day candle, or you can light it once a day. They do say if you're going to do some candle work, don't blow your candle out. You need to get a snuffer, because if you're burning a candle to say, let's say you want to bring in more income, and then you blow the candle out, you just negated everything. But then also, let's say you want to bring in more income and you light the candle now. Well, we're still in the full moon, which of course is decreasing in size, which it means it's a time to clear. And so they say if a person, depending on their own energy level and how that works, it could backfire on you if you light the candle at the wrong time. So it was very interesting for me. I did a scan. I have a giant timeline scan. If anybody wants it, just email me and I'll send it. But what I actually wanted to remove for this 7-day period was bioweapons. And I thought, well, okay. So I started out with the 7-day candle, and then every day for a while I lit a votive candle, because that burns right down. You don't need to put it out. And then now just a regular white candle, and I snuff it out. You don't want to leave it unattended, obviously. And so that's what I wanted to share, which is probably what this group already knew. But can you imagine the power? Like if we all lit a candle, even just this group, on the 28th to bring in something like unconditional love? Or what if we, of course, for remove, maybe we could light a candle with the full moon to remove some of the political hysteria, that type of thing. Think it could be powerful?
Yes.
It's something we might want to consider. Plus, I'm told, this is another friend of mine again who keeps me posted. Apparently, this 28th is a very powerful new moon. Does anybody know any specifics on that?
I haven't looked into the Ayurvedic side of it. What are you reading a book on candles, or?
Oh, I've got a bunch of books on candles.
Okay. Do you have a favorite one?
What? No, I tell you who I like is Tina Ketch, Ketch.
Thanks.
And you can get pretty complicated with that, and that's not really what I'm aiming for. But I will say I am intrigued.
For the 28th, for the 2 topics, what color candles?
I have just been sticking with white. But if you just even Google, you will see the different colors and what they mean, and then you may want to choose something different. Like I know, for example, to pull in income is green, etc., etc. Now I figured you can't go wrong with white.
And I like the fact that I used to blow mine out, and that negated what I said.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah. So
of course, I never did any fooling with candles up to, just for some reason, I was reading about the mystic Christians and the miracles, you know, when they were taught, and I'm sorry, Jesus was talking quantum once you really study it. I personally believe that. And the information was shared with a select few. It wasn't shared with the masses because the masses may have abused it. But apparently, after Jesus's death, or, you know, after he left the planet, the Christians were doing amazing things, which is why the Romans said, you know, we could have some problems. We'd better start a church. And so they started church with some giant bureaucracy and control, and of course rounded up the Christians and tortured and killed as many as possible. And what happened is a lot of that knowledge was completely, it was just gone. It's like the Rife machines. Back in, I think it was the 40s, people were having amazing cures from the Rife machine. That's an interesting book, The Cancer Cure That Worked, by Barry Limes, if you haven't read it. And what happened is they actually passed a law that any doctor with a Rife machine in his or her office would lose their medical degree. So by the 80s, nobody even remembered Rife. That book came out, and that kind of was a revival of his therapy. But it's interesting. So I grabbed a few books. Well, I grabbed quite a few books actually because I'm curious. And you can get very, very detailed with the candle work. But you can also believe it or not, and if you look at the art of spiritual hygiene and go back a few posts, one day I put the image of a lit blue candle, and it was a 92% benefit, just the image. And they say a blue candle, among other things, represents well-being. So there's a lot we can do. So anyway, I guess that's it. Anything else?
Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Well, we're all sharing. I'm excited about our future. Okay. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'll see you Thursday.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye. It's the SRC4u software demonstration call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.